Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures, and it's time once more for our weekly painting progress. And once more we have the never-ending battle between my brother and I. Quantity versus quality. We'll let you guys be the judge. But no, I totally beat him this week in terms of quantity. Quality, I'm going to concede to him. I think he did a really nice job on these. We're going to start off with the teeniest, tiniest model of the week, and that is this cybernetic doggy. I believe that came from Brother Vinny. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. That's what he told me to. Exciting. Moving on. For the most part, it seems this week, it's a whole lot of printed stuff. And I gotta say, my brother does a lot better job of painting printed models than I ever did. This is a Heresy Lab Assassin. This is from one of their Kickstarters, I believe. And I'm pretty sure I did not print this. I'm pretty sure this is actually a cast resin. Came out quite nice. If we ever get around to having some decent inquisitorial rules for assassins and stuff, well, I'm sure she'll be seeing some action at that point. What else we got here? Okay. Last week we had plenty of dudes in hazmat suits. This week we have one of the regular soldiers, and I need to touch that up because he asked me to on the gas mask. This is another albino raven soldier, and despite my poor printing abilities, looks pretty good. I think he printed these bases as well. Came out nice. Moving along with our printed material. I like this guy. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite of the bunch. This comes from Popsicles. If you like cyberpunk stuff, he's been putting out a lot of non-combatant types lately. And I'm sure if you grew up in the 80s or ever watched Docura, you can recognize the look he's sporting there. Quite nice. Next up, we have, this was one of the Unit 9 Yakuza guys. Looking stylish. He was telling me this is actually a sea green, or dark sea green for the suit. It is not black. I can kind of see the hints of the green in there. I might have to pick up a bottle of this myself. I was debating how to paint these guys, but I think he's on the right track. Looking stylish. I think we're headed down a cyberpunk road here with him. I want to say this is one of the paramedic guys from Cyberforge, which is Titan Forge's sci-fi line. Pretty sure it is. Problem is, a bunch of people put out these kind of guys. I'm assuming they're based on Cyberpunk 2077, but that looks pretty good. Another of the Valor Corps for the Maker's Cult. Looking snappy. And then finally, I'm pretty sure we had seen the earlier version of this guy. This is the wolf-headed hero version from the... I don't even remember what the line was called. It's from Anvil Digital Forge. This is their hero from their, like, Stalker... Scrap Punk. This is not a test post-apocalyptic line. It had a special name. I don't remember it now. Came out good. So actually a pretty decent haul for him, I gotta say. I just slopped paint all over everything and called it a day. So let's see what I did. First up, I got the rest of the worm spat done. Very plain, very generic, very dull, but very finished. So... there's that one. And then I believe we had the other guy last week. And here's our crone matron type. And I forgot to paint the straps on that part. Forgive me. She's pretty gross looking. So that is the worm spat done. And if I can finish up the Daughters of Cain this week, I will have finished every single Beastgrave Warband and never played a single round of it. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. All right, a random Malifaux Lotus Eater. Not the most exciting model. They're kind of thick, paunchy fist fighters. And I don't know where the rest of the group are. There's 3 of them, but I only have 1. Well, 1 it is then. We'll use them as a lone martial artist somewhere. All right, another Kyoshokuneko dwarf ranged model. This time, instead of the crossbow, we've got a rifle. Let's see. I'm just having a mix of everything. I printed that one. This is a bad squido samurai, and she came out a lot darker than I wanted, but since she's pretty armored up, it's not like you would necessarily know it's a female in there anyways. But yeah. I made a mess of the base. I made a mess of a lot of bases lately. Unfortunately. I went with a very Crimson Guard color scheme for one of the heretic guys from Anvil Digital Forge. He wasn't the best print job, but I figured we'll just slop some paint, call it a day. Iron Grenadiers, that's what I'm thinking, a Crimson Guard. Alright. We painted up the Furbolg druid type guy from Cripple God Foundry. A little bit shiny back there, but kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed him. I like his skin tone. It's not a human skin tone. And the nose just makes him look kind of like a drunk, but that's what Furbolg noses seem to look like. Okay, we got the Vix. The Victorias, and I didn't do the best job on her face there, on either of their faces. I tried. I should fill in the mouth. It looks weird. I don't like this one's pose. I'm pretty sure I said that already. This one's okay. It just looks weird. And I didn't care. I wanted her finished. I wanted him out of the way. Speaking of wanting things out of the way, there's this guy. The Gellerpox infected. I forget what he was. Was he the butcher? He was just a fun, ugly model. I kind of like going with the gray skin tones. And probably going to continue that with the rest of the infected. I've painted a few here and there. Alright. I tried painting up my test run of one of the dwarf Dweghom. Oh, I don't even know what they're called anymore. Cannon guys. We'll figure it out what they're called. I don't like all the exposed skin, so we just painted like a jumpsuit on him. It works, but it makes me think with the dark skin tone almost like that makes me think of the dwarves of Final Fantasy IV. That's why he's got the yellow eyes. So he can shout lolly ho as he cannonades everybody. Alright, a random Legends of the Five Rings model. I don't know if this is a male or a female, but the eyes are really big. From some angles it looks okay, and from others it looks hideous. But it's finished. I think it's a she. I honestly don't know, but it works. I think the choices of colors are different. I'm sure they are nowhere near the official colors of whatever clan she was supposed to be part of, but it works for me. Was she my only samurai this week? It looks like it. Alright. The only Catfolk I bothered to paint so far from Artisan Guild. Ooh, I chipped that all up. That's not good. So this was like the hero model. I tried painting him like a tiger, and I don't know. The results are a bit iffy. And again, whenever I have that glossy agrax on stuff, I can't tell how sloppy it looks. And it is a gray, and it's not just the paint chipping off. That's me doing a bad job of painting. You can't really see his teeth either. You can see his fangs there, but that's about it. I think I'll go back and touch him up a bit. He's big, too. He's on a 40mm base. Here's a model that I forgot I owned. It is a Randomesian from the Dark Lads, and he's actually a metal one. I want to say this is one of the very first metals I think they offered up. I am shocked and amazed that those antlers of his are still attached, considering how rough I've been with these. I'm kind of looking forward. I got the dude who's supposed to be sitting on top of the Manticore coming. I really liked that one. Eagerly looking forward to him coming in the mail. Hopefully soon. A random Stonehaven Halfling Princess. With a very quick and simple paint job. But it's a fun little sculpt, and they came with these teeny tiny bases. At least I think she came with this. I'm sure it's from Proxy Miniatures. It feels like they're little teeny tiny ones. Speaking of teeny tiny, not so teeny tiny, got a couple more of the Fawns finished up from RGD Gaming. I don't like their eyes. I've tried to redo the faces on both of them a few times now, but I'm just going to call it quits. They're going to be done. Okay. I still feel they're too thin, but I know that they're supposed to be doing some more ancient type models, so we'll see how those turn out. Something new, just something different. Scythians, I think it was. Alright, here is, I believe she came from Unit 9 originally. And I don't like the face, I kind of messed it up. But I was showing my brother, and he thought I looked like one of the Silicon life forms from Blame, so that's how we ended up painting her. Really quick, really simple. But yeah, totally tried to like Blame. Oh goodness, what else we got? Okay, some random barbarians. This is a Gamic barbarian with the modular arms, and he's got all his gear on his back. I like he's got all that strapped on, but I feel like these two spears should have like their half sticking out a little bit farther. But nope, that wasn't a misprint or anything. That's just how the model's supposed to look. They are not there. You don't get to see those. Otherwise, very cool. And then we got a female Gamic barbarian done as well. I've really been enjoying their barbarians, I'll be honest. Very quick and simple paint job. I think it works. Probably needs a little bit more depth to the cape. It's very plain. And then, speaking of barbarians, still got some more stuff. We went crazy this week. So this is a failed print. And yeah, it's failed because there's all kinds of mess going on the front of him, and you can't really see it as much now, and his sword was broken. This is from Signum Workshop, but I think I made it work. I think it turned out good enough that, you know, from a tabletop perspective, it gets the job done. Nice generic Viking looking dude. It's one of their hero models. And then there is another failed print. This one comes from Titan Forge. His hand was an absolute mess. I tried to fix it with some green stuff. Not that good a job. He's actually blown up to about 125%. He's not supposed to be on a 40mm base. Someday I will show off the smaller one, but there were still some issues with this guy. I figured he's good enough. You can see here. So he is a bit bigger. The other one, the actual one, is about the same size as all the other human models. We'll show him off one of these days. I've been meaning to film a video on those guys. They came out really nice. And to continue our barbarian motif, some random Blood Rage models. I don't know if she's supposed to be wearing a shirt. I really can't tell. So I'm assuming she's not, and I'm pretty sure I saw some artwork like that. So that's what I'm basing it on. Just a very quick paint job for her. And how about the boys? I like this model. I think I have almost one of every Blood Rage model. Maybe not everyone, but the two clans, those Kickstarter exclusive ones, naturally are the nicest looking ones, and I just want like one of each of those guys, but nope. Can't find any. The Wild Boar clan, I think. And another third Blood Rage model. For whatever inevitable Viking, Barbarian mix-up we've got going. And to fight all those barbarians, I went ahead and put together some Warlord Romans. And I did use those shield transfers that came with the box. Very, very simple paint job. Got a few more. I mean, if you're going to do one Roman, why not do a bunch of Romans, right? So these are the veteran ones. You can see they're busted up. Some of them have bandages, like the one guy on his face there. He's got half his face wrapped up. One of them has the shield upside down. I don't know if that was intentional, but I'll pretend it was. And finally, because there's not enough of a pile here. Good God, I really did get a lot done this week. On our Patreon, I had put in a level that if you want, you guys can actually request what we paint and how we paint it. So I was suggested to paint some purpley Chaos Dwarfs. So this is a Titan Forged Dwarf. They're sons of Kashin Vra, I believe. Obviously with a golden calf. And I'm probably going to have to go back and touch up the highlights, and I don't know what happened there, but I did have some nice purple highlights, but they seem to have just kind of absorbed themselves back into the paint. I wanted to go with a very dark and purpley look to him. His skin, his armor. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that. I think it came out kind of nice. At least I have an idea of what to do with these guys in the future now. The stone tablets came out a little bit rough. And finally, I was asked to paint this Zealot corrupted Minotaur, kind of in similar colors to the King of Ruin, Great Unclean One looking guy from Creature Caster. So I attempted to do that, and he came out thoroughly disgusting. Absolutely thoroughly disgusting. So big thank you to King Wiku for suggesting this, because honestly, this model, I could not figure out what to do with him. I really, really wasn't sure, and I think it works. I think it works. The weird, glowy gut skeleton skulls, the messed up, burned out skin, the exposed bone, the viscera around it. I think the color came out pretty decent. It was a mix of purples and reds, and it got a little sloppy there, but can't win them all. He's a big, thick model. This is a 60mm base he's on, so I'm quite pleased with him. I am going to be putting up some choices for the month of December in the next couple of days, so if you'd like to have a say in what we paint and how we paint it, by all means, please do join us on Patreon, because absolutely we appreciate the support, and it helps us get this stuff done that much faster. You can tell we have quite a haul this week, and it helps get this channel up into the 21st century in terms of technology and filming techniques. So hopefully we'll see you guys all there. And if we don't, that's okay too. We'll see you back here the next week when we have our next weekly painting progress. But we're here every day. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that. Hit the bell, smash that like button, and all that jazz. I just can't do it. All right. Let's take a nice long look at what we got done this week. Ooh, boy. Okay, that is a big pile of minis. So yeah, I'm suitably pleased, and hopefully all of you out there are getting your piles of shame a little bit more dwindled down. I know I'm trying, but it's almost a futile effort. With that said, we'll have the links down below if you're curious about where to pick up any of these models, and hopefully, like I said, we'll see you back here soon. This has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.